remember we are still working on the variable. So like, because we are using the Jupyter Notebook, so you want to learn how the Jupyter Notebook works. So if you want to insert another cell here, you just come here, like this is insert below. It will insert another cell where you can continue writing your code. So we are still on the variables. So remember, you can store different types of data in your variables, from the integers, floating point, booleans, and the strings, like I explained earlier to you. So let's now, because we are still dealing with the integers, these are the integers 2 and 3. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 up to infinity, those are the integers. So right now let's see how our variables work, whereby they will store our the floating numbers. So let's start with a simple variable. Let's say the answer, what can we say? That is going to be integer, my integer, sorry, the spelling for integer, my integer, we can assign it to let's say 0.5. So this is a floating number. We run, no error. Okay, so then we have another one, my underscore integer, my integer, maybe 2. This is our second integer. Let's say it carries 3.9. Run, it's okay. So let's see what are the results in our integer. Let's see what are the values inside our my integer 1 and my integer 2. So my integer underscore in integer, my integer, let's run and see. Inside my integer, the value that is stored inside my integer, that is 0.5. let's see my underscore integer, oh my god, integer 2. Let's see what's the value inside my integer 2. The value inside my integer 2 is 3.9. So sometimes you want to know what is the data type for these variables that we have. So you can be able, through Python, you can be able to view the data types for each variable that you want to explore. So let's say type. This is the function that we use to check the type. So up here we had num2 and num3. That is going to be num underscore 2. We want to check the data type. So it tells you that the num2 is an integer type. Let's look. Let's come here and see. So this is num2. This is 2. It stores the value 2. So you are able to know what is the value that is inside this variable. What is the data type of the value that has been stored inside this variable. So here is num3. Definitely the data type for this one is going to be an integer. So let's see. Type num underscore 3. Okay, let me, so that you will see. Okay, fine, let me remove this. It's an integer also. So you see, it's very easy to know different data types in Python. whereby the values, you check inside each variable what's the data type of the value that is stored in that variable. So that's how simple and easy that you can do in Python to check the data type. So let's check, come here and check my integer. Remember, this one, it's a floating number, it's a floating point number. So let's see if our Python will tell us. So I just copied this and just paste it here. So you can copy or just start writing it, it's okay, either way you can do. So this is it. Let's check. It's float. It tells you that the value that is stored in this variable is float. So that's the beauty of Python. Let's continue with our variables declaration. So now we have done with integer, we have done with float. So we can go to string. Let's say name equals to, then so you have to understand that you can use the single commas or double quoted commas to put your string inside. So Philip, that's my name, Philip Machile, that is my name. So this is Philip Machile, this is my string, meaning this this text Philip Machile, it has been stored inside the variable name. Do you understand how it works? This is a string. A string Philip Machile has been stored inside the variable name. So let's see if you want to see what is inside this variable. Let's say name. I have shown you different ways of displaying the contents of different variables. Let's say, so it gives you the results that CSC has been is the name, is the string that has been stored inside me as the name variable. So meaning this variable, this is our main thing right now. So you need to understand this is the different ways of trying to manipulate to understand how the variables can be used in Python. So let's check what the data type of our what's the value that has been stored inside our variable name, the data type of the value that has been stored inside the variable name. So type, see what it tells us. It tells what has been stored inside the name, that is the string. So I want to show you something. Now we have the name, we have my integer, which stores the value 0.5 as our float. So let us use the same variable name and store a different type of data. Let's say my underscore integer, and then let's say 6 and run. Now let's say my underscore integer and run. Look, this is my integer, this is my integer here, and let's check the type. My underscore integer, that is int. So now you get to understand that Python, the way it works, if you can use the same variables and give it different values and give it different types of different data types. So definitely the last one, that's the one that the Python will remember. So now at first we had the very same variable my integer, which stored the floating number, but now we have my integer, which stores an integer 6. So when we check what is the value that is inside our that has been stored inside our variable my integer, we get it 6, which is the recent value that has been stored, and the type, that is an integer. So that's how the variables are being manipulated in Python. So let me say thank you and see you in the next tutorial.